our fiesta! A fiesta is a celebration. So why are we having a fiesta?
Because we have something really important to talk about.
Okay, Miss Susan, I think we're almost ready.
Great. Hey, we forgot the balloons.
Oh yes, I love balloons.
Me too. Hey, did you know we're kind of like a balloon?
How so?
Well, sometimes we get all puffed up and we think we're better than everyone else. And we want everyone else to think so too.
That's what they call having a big head.
Yep. We might think we're smarter than everyone else, or more athletic, or even more talented than everyone else.
And that's puffed up.
And if we keep that attitude going, something will soon pop our puffed up selves. Today we are going to talk about the words pride and humility.
Let's start with pride. Pride is a feeling of pleasure at your own achievements or someone else's achievements.
If you get an A on a test, you can feel proud that you worked and studied hard to make that good grade.
But the Bible tells us about something called sinful pride. Sinful pride is when you think you are better than someone else and you show off or act like you know it all.
So if you take your test and show everyone that you got an A, that is showing off and thinking of yourself more than you should.
Well, when we act this way, it not only can make others feel bad, but we can begin to think that we can do everything by ourselves without others.
Or without God. And the Bible teaches us to give credit to God when we are successful and do great things.
God does not like sinful pride at all.
Let's hear a story from the Bible and see how God handled people that were all puffed up.
You remember the story of Noah's Ark, right? God saved Noah and his family from a flood.
But after the flood, God asked Noah to tell his family to spread out into the world and repopulate the earth.
As time passed, there were lots of people again, but they were not spread out like God asked. They all settled in one area called Babylonia.
The king at that time was King Nimrod, and as he looked around the city, he decided that he wanted to be famous. And he told all of the people, you can be famous too if you will help me build a tower that goes all the way up to heaven. Wow, that's tall.
The tower would be so tall and majestic that all generations after King Nimrod would admire his greatness and keep his name famous.
In other words, he and the people of Babylonia wanted to show off. And that they did. Brick by brick, the people worked hard. They were excited to build a tower all the way to heaven.
But they were doing it for the wrong reasons. Soon their heads got all puffed up and they forgot about all the wonderful things God had done for them.
They forgot to depend on God, worship God, and thank God. And God was not happy about that.
During this time, all people spoke the same language, but God decided to confuse everyone by giving them different languages.
Can you imagine? All of a sudden, the people who were standing around you could not understand each other. And although some were given the same language, there were so many different languages that they could not communicate well at all.
Eventually, they could no longer work on the tower together because they couldn't understand. And they finally dispersed out of Babylonia, speaking a variety of languages and repopulating the earth.
And that was God's plan all along. It's time for Did You Know?
There are 7,000 languages in the world.
There is a language called Bout that is only spoken by 8 people.
Over 300 languages are spoken in the U.S.
Half of the world is bilingual. That means they can speak more than one language.
The Bible is the most translated document ever. It is now available in 683 languages, and part of the Bible is available in 3,000 languages.
If you're an airline pilot anywhere in the world, you must know how to speak English.
English is the most dominant language as it is used all over the world. But Chinese Mandarin is the most spoken language, although it is not well used all over the world.
The English language has over 250,000 words.
And now it's time for a song.
Hey Kingdom Kids, it's Miss Melinda, Miss Susan, Miss Jewel. We're going to sing a song about being grateful for whatever situation you find yourself in. It's called, are you humbly grateful or grumbly hateful? This is the chorus. We're going to talk it through one time. Are you humbly grateful or grumbly hateful? What's your attitude? Do you grumble and groan or let it be known you're grateful for all God's done for you? Your attitude can make a big, big difference. That is the chorus, and then I will sing the verse, and then we'll go back to the chorus, okay? You ready, ladies? I'll give you a little introduction. Are you humbly grateful or grumbly hateful? What's your attitude? Do you grumble and groan or let it be known you're grateful for all God's done for you? When Jonah found himself in the belly of a whale, did he cause a riot inside?
No.
He headed for shore with a message from God, and he thanked the Lord for the
Free ride.
Here we go. Are you humbly grateful or grumbly hateful? What's your attitude? Do you grumble and groan or let it be known you're grateful for all God's done for you? When Noah found himself in the floating zoo, did he ever try to jump ship?
No.
For 40 long days and for 40 long nights, he cleared the deck on that
Long trip.
P.U. Are you humbly grateful or grumbly hateful? What's your attitude? Do you grumble and groan or let it be known you're grateful for all God's done for you? Remember, Kingdom Kids, be humbly grateful. Your attitude can make a difference in your life and everyone around you. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
It's time for
More fun facts.
Japanese is the fastest spoken language. Russian was the first language spoken in outer space. The Pope tweets in 9 languages. Most languages in Africa are not in written form. They are only spoken. The English language did not come from England. It actually came from Germany.
Today, there are 8 billion people who live all over the earth. There are 7,000 different languages, and each and every one of them make the world a diverse and beautiful place.
God created each of us so that we would need Him and depend on Him. There's no one who has everything figured out. We need God's help because when we start going our own way, we stop going God's way.
To go God's way, we need humility. This means we should be humble. If you are humble, you know that you don't know everything and that you are not all puffed up.
God wants us to know that everyone is a loved child of God. Everyone is special, and no one should think they're better than anyone else. Bragging and boasting never honors God, but depending and trusting on Him does.
God is worthy of our worship and praise, and He is the strength behind all we do. Today we celebrate that God knows better than we do. We cannot do anything without God, but we can do everything when we have God's strength behind us.
So throw away that sinful pride, but keep your humility because God's plan is always best.
Today's story reminds us to celebrate the gift of languages around the globe. God created a beautiful world full of diverse languages and races.
And although you may not understand more than one language, the universal language that everyone can speak all around the world through our actions is the language of love. Talk about awesome! Have a great week, boys and girls. We'll see you next time. Bye!
And now, time for some bloopers.
Something is going to
Over the earth. There are 7. Today we celebrate.
No, I don't say that. I just say it.